All right, so I want to make a longer form video about how to use the hips in the downswing. I've got two really good drills here to kind of help you master how to use the hips. And the big thing about using the lower body in the downswing is it sets the sequence up for the rest of the downswing. It's the first thing that moves. It's going to be the first thing in the domino effect for creating a solid downswing. So the two big issues I see, and they're very different sides of the spectrum, are too much hip slide and not enough hip slide. So one would call this excessive sliding, and the other one would be spinning out. So what I see usually with better players is they shift their lead hip outside their ankle in this fashion, and that causes your spine to tilt back. And what that happens is when we get to the top here and we do this, our chest stays closed very long, and this club gets dumped underneath, and from here we can hit all sorts of shots. We can hit big hooks, blocks, and a lot of fat shots occur from there. The next thing I'd see is no hip turn, and that's where we get the golfers who come way out over the top and their chest spins open. So I've got a fantastic drill here. What we're gonna see in better players is their center of their pelvis, their belt buckle, is gonna shift about 8 inches in the swing. Now we're not really looking where the lead hip goes, we're looking where the belt buckle goes. So 3 things have to happen. We have to rotate, we have to shift our body, and we have to actually push up. So when we do all 3 of those together, we're gonna take something about 8 inches in front of us, and what we're gonna try to do here is get our belt buckle to that. Not our lead hip, but our belt buckle. From here, we're just gonna practice pushing up to that. So you see my belt buckle's right on top of it. Now, if I just rotate, well, my belt buckle is gonna come not even close to it. If I just shift and then rotate, well, my belt buckle's still not there because I haven't actually pushed up. If I just slide, obviously my belt buckle is kind of staying in a very similar place. And if I just push up, well, then nothing's really happening there. So the best way you can work on this is we can kind of progress it. So we're going to start in just our address position. You may not even need a club to do this, so we can put a club across our chest here. And I just want you to practice pushing your belt buckle to that target, just like that. You can see we're pushing up, we're rotating, and we're actually shifting our body. So just practice that for a little bit. 1, 2. And then you can actually go and take some shorter swings. Boom, just like that. And just hit little chip shots, just like that. And what you're doing here is you're shifting your pressure and you're actually extending. Just like that. Then you can eventually phase it into full swings. Now, this is where the alignment stick comes in, because once we get to the top here, a lot of players really seem to struggle with getting their pressure forward without elevating their lead hip. That's where we see the players that keep their chest closed, this hip gets very high, and you're stuck underneath there. So we're gonna take an alignment stick and put it through our belt loops here. What we're gonna do here is practice keeping this lead hip lower for a little bit longer in transition. So we're up to the top here, and then as I begin to shift into my lead side, this lead hip's gonna stay lower rather than elevating so quickly. It's gonna stay a little bit lower, and then once I'm basically square to the ball, my hips have returned to square. From here is where we wanna begin to push up and try to get to that chair right there. Boom. That's how we create a really consistent swing. So I'm shifting down. That's the first part of the downswing, shifting down. As you can see, this lead hip is still slightly lower than my trail hip. And then from there, because I've actually put some pressure into this lead side, I can go, boom, punch up through the ground and get onto that chair. That should help you use the lower body a lot better. And the way I would work on this is start just from your setup and try to get onto that target, and then slowly make the swing a little bit longer. Then once you're comfortable, go into your full backswing, add the alignment stick, and just break it up into 2 pieces. I'm gonna go 1, 2. Squatting down, punching up with the legs. Okay? And then an even simpler way to practice this when you're hitting balls is take the club back, and then once this club's, start with your feet together, forgot to mention that. Once your club is about halfway back, actually step towards the target, and that's gonna help you actually work on shifting that pressure. That's a little bit more of an advanced drill. Boom, and then you can extend off of that, and so I can actually do that. I'll lose the club so I don't hit the wall behind me, but I would go start with my feet together, boom, and I'm stepping towards the target basically as my arms reach about halfway back. Boom. I would keep this here the entire time because it's a fantastic visual for what your pelvis should be doing. We're not just rotating, we're not just shifting, we're shifting our entire lower body, we're rotating, and then we're actually pushing through this lead foot to get a little bit of extension, okay?